Oh my god, I'm trying not to laugh in this.
Why?
And I had like had a panic moment just now because we just switched over the streams on. What's up, guys? It's Gat,
And glitter.
and we are
Hello.
live. However, my technical malfunctioning of sorts, like you know how the computer screen freezes, and you know how paranoid I get nowadays,
Yes.
especially because well, we had the blue screen of death a couple times, and I my face was just sheer horror. I was just like, this is where we die. This is where it stops, and the computer's just gonna crash, isn't it? Because everything else went fine today. So I was like, something's gonna
Of
happen to the
course.
stream.
I should have showed you. I didn't text you because I didn't want you to freak out. Like what my computer looked like this morning.
Oh
Or,
my god.
and by this morning I mean 15 minutes before we logged on. Like
Yeah, because I
remember
texted
that
like,
old like
hey.
staticky gray-white thing
Oh
that it
no.
like used to do on
No
TVs? Like
no.
that's what my computer was doing. Like like it's not even a blue screen of death. I don't know how to fix that.
Just a speckled. Yeah, I hate that. So, welcome into the Sprots Takes pre-show where we do not have computer issues at the moment.
We did it.
We did
Woo.
it. Well, no, that's I was like, I text you beforehand. I'm like, I don't know if you happen to be like have your shit together and actually be ready before me because usually you do. But I'm glad I wasn't like, hey, by the way, how's your computer doing? Oh
Is your
boy,
computer even on?
does it even work? I don't think anybody realizes it's Monday today though, because I have just felt like it's like a Thursday and overwhelmingly like strange amount of like midday or midweek activities have happened. Like I've had to do midweek things that I usually don't have to do on Mondays. So it's just I don't know. It's weird. This whole day's been strange.
Midweek things? Like
Yeah, like
what?
different errands that I didn't like I couldn't do on Sunday because everything was closed, or that I would
Mm,
normally do on Sunday. Like I was doing today, and I'm just like, this is weird. I feel like we're
that
just
is
having
weird.
another Sunday. It doesn't make sense, but Easter was fun, so whatever.
Yeah, we had a good time. We went to your house for Easter.
And we saw that. Well, okay, we got to go back to Friday because the people saw the outtakes from Friday. They saw like the live story on Friday when we went to see the Clydesdales, but then on Saturday you started sharing moments like when you were in a tree.
Yes, angrily in a tree, apparently.
You were making some serious like mood faces.
Well, you were yelling at me to move my face in ways that didn't make sense. I
Put
was
your head
just like,
out and down. It's fine. And you're just like,
I don't know what you want. I don't know.
I think
But yeah, but
confused
we went to see the
supermodel is
ponies.
perfect too.
What? Supermodel?
Confused supermodel is a good look too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, they want you to be emotional, so there we are.
You asked for this.
Super emotional. Thanks, Tyra.
Oh my god.
Uh,
I
that's where
forgot
I've
about
learned
America's Next
all.
Top Model.
That's how I know all of my modeling tips is from Tyra. Uh,
Can you smize for us?
I can't. I've tried. I can't. You can. You're good at it.
I just look like I'm trying to bang you. I don't know how
I think that counts as smizing,
like hi, do you feel pregnant?
right? Like,
Because that's
maybe
what
that's what I should
Maz just
start
did.
thinking. Like, do you feel
Do
pregnant?
you feel pregnant? I don't think there's anything sexy about that, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever. I'm gonna put my hair back. It's annoying me. Everybody can watch me do my hair.
Yay. So Friday we went to see the ponies. We were going to go live, but there was a shocking amount of people there.
I did not expect that at all.
We were sitting there, like we got there early because we're smart. We were sitting there at our table out on the patio, which thank God you got that.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forgot about that.
it wasn't even intentional, I don't think.
No.
But we had a patio table. We were just sitting there, like it was chill. And then all of a sudden at 2:15 or whatever time the horses came, like 800 people came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and they were like super geeked out about it too.
Yeah.
It
And I was like,
wasn't.
I get it. It's cool, but
Is it?
I don't know
Is it really
that
that
cool.
exciting? Like, I mean, we had a great view, obviously, but like, I don't think anybody really expected people to be that excited about coming to see horses.
No.
There's a lady
And
that
like,
passed out in line.
yeah, the ambulance had to come before they would even let the horses come because she freaking hyperventilated or whatever. I don't
She's
even know.
she just
Like,
couldn't handle the horses.
Right? And it's not like the horses aren't 3 hours away from us all of the time. Like, you can go to St. Louis and see them at any point.
Yeah, you talked about like we had a couple of friends meet us up there, um, and they were like, yeah, down in Boonville, and they were talking about how you can just go, and then you were talking about how you've been there, right?
I went there when I was, like, really young, like
Okay,
5 or 6. I remember going, but, like, I don't remember how cool it was.
man, yeah, I don't know, I just didn't think that people were gonna geek out over horses like that, but then again, we are talking to number one horse girl, that
That's true. That's me.
that is you, and you had the Clydesdale shirt on. You said it was like your Clydesdale viewing shirt. I don't know. Like it was like,
Oh, my Sprots
yeah.
tickets. I was like,
But like I saw the steady like moment that you were like went into influencer mode. Like you're like, this is the best shirt to wear while watching Clydesdales from
yeah,
Dad Bod Tees. I was like, Dad Bod is gonna be so proud of you.
they were, I think. I don't know.
They were. Yeah. I like to think that it's like, they're just really proud to be associated with us, even though he sends us messages like just completely roasting both of us all the time.
Right.
I love sharing them too. So I'm like, get you a merch guy who does this.
Well, you have one of the roasts right on your shirt.
Oh yeah, I do.
Right now. Right now.
Move
Casual dad bod plug.
Casual. Look how influencer this is.
Use our code Sprots6.
He's the one who switched it from sports dot to 10 ways he wanted to bend me over.
Perfect. You could have that shirt today.
Yes, and then you can use your code.
Use our code or buy our Sprots merch. I can't show you.
You can't?
Hold on.
Legally or like physically? That was the coolest
Physically.
move. You just did like the Chris Collinsworth like woo.
And I'm back.
And we're back.
I can't see my own camera right now.
That's okay. There you go.
Look at it. You could have one of
You
these.
could have Sprat States in your mouth every morning. Wake up with Sprat Steaks. I don't know, like what like the best part of waking up.
Is Sprots takes on your cup?
We are clipping that.
for-
Yep. I was just like, you have to clip that. Like I don't really know.
Oh, I don't know how to make a clip. Okay, here we go.
We usually have people that do this.
Right? Where are my people?
Where's everybody? What are the
God.
numbers looking like? Are you on Facebook too?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get on Facebook. I want to see what the people of Facebook are doing. I kind of feel like it's like people of Walmart. I don't want to say that, but maybe.
Dad Bod said he loves us. I don't know how long ago, sorry, but he did. He made a Twitch account and everything.
Oh my god, it won't go away. Sorry, guys. I can't figure out how to make that stop. Good thing that we're not actually doing a real episode yet.
We are not officially. We should be about officially, though.
What
'Cause
was
it's
I-
two.
It is too. Well, my new thing is like not starting the show until like halfway through, and then I just don't tell you that we've started, and then we're like, so give me your hot takes. You're like, oh, we're doing this now.
Well, it's kind of always like this. There's really no end or beginning. I had to Google what Twitch was first. Oh. Dad Bod.
That's
So-
such a dad bod move.
So old. See, he can make fun of us in DMs all the time, but I can just throw it right back, like all of these video game shirts that he makes that were made before we were born.
Oh my god.
I don't know what those are.
Oh god. You just made him happy, and now you're gonna get all feisty boy with him. All right.
Feisty.
Feisty boy. We are going to talk about what?
We're going to talk about everything today. We're going to talk about, it's finally draft week, so we're going to touch on that. We've got some rumors going on. There's some I can't say sports now. Sports radio, not Sprots radio.
Sprots Radio.
There's some sports radio KC drama. We got some playoff stuff. We got some Game of Thrones action.
There's
We got a lot
just
of
like
stuff today.
a lot of things.
We have a lot of stuff always, but we don't usually preview it for you, and maybe that's a new thing that you guys like. I don't know.
Well, that way they know what's maybe about to happen.
Maybe.
With us, I feel like
I should say, like, those are all on the notes. Whether any of that happens, It's not a promise for you.
We might stick to the script 9 times out of 10. We do not. But at least you know what we want to talk about. We're trying.
Yeah. That's the goal, what we're going to aim for. Gat, it all really depends on how much of her watermelon eucalyptus she's had. To see if we get to them.
I gotta have more. I'm at a
You should have all of it.
I'm at a fine level of watermelon euphoria.
Okay.
It's a lot stronger than my other eucalyptus, and so I had to be careful. That's all. I might have killed 2 people last night. I don't know. 2.
Well, her eucalyptus lately she's been #1 test bunny. So
You really have been.
it's kind of been all over the place, and I'm not ever sure. Like, she's gotten really weird where, for one, she hates watermelon, loves this stuff. For 2, she started eating potatoes. She's #1 anti-Irish and hates potatoes and Irish people. So, like,
I hate Irish people.
no, you do eat, well,
I fucking love gingers.
I was about to say, you do eat Irish people, you don't eat potatoes.
I do not. First of all, yeah, well, I guess kind of. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Carry on.
I just got transfixed on the fact that it's called eating out, and I'm just still not sure why.
Because you're not really out.
Yeah, and you're not, like,
eating,
hopefully. Please don't eat it.
Don't use, like, don't bite me? Like, no?
No, don't eat. No chewing. Like,
yeah, no chewing. I'm really glad that we're getting down to the bottom of why it's you just said it was me. You just said it was my problem that we get distracted and how high I am.
It's definitely you. It still is. The viewers agree.
The viewers agree. 6 out of 7 of the ones that are talking to me in my mind. No, I mean, that's the beauty of it, though, because today, even when I was listening to, I don't even know what I was listening to, but I started getting text messages to turn on 610 because they were talking about the time that their Twitter got hacked, and I was like,
I feel like it's time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So we talk about it often. Do you say often or often?
Often? It's weird because it depends on, like, the setting and my mood. If I'm, like, talking to an adult, I will say often.
Okay.
Or if I'm trying to make a point, like, I know how to enunciate. Like, I will be like, more often than not. And I say that a lot.
Often than not, you're fucking wrong.
Wow. Yeah.
That is an example of when you would use it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, well, that's another, like, we're #1 dating advice people, guys.
We have been killing it on dating advice.
That's true.
We've been getting all of our friends laid.
This is an easy one. When a woman starts, like, making syllables apparent, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
When they start using punctuation in texts, you're in trouble.
If I ever send you a text message, there's just a cloud of smoke, eucalyptus smoke around me right now. But if I send you a text and there's a period at the end, oh boy.
You're in trouble.
You Big dead. Trouble. You should just run. Like, just get the fuck out. Like, it's over.
So, small hints for you.
But your advice has been killing it. No, dead serious. Like, our guy friends have been listening to the show, and they've been, like, listening, and I don't know what this is. I mean, Sprots Takes is an ever-evolving beast, don't you think?
Definitely.
So if we're gonna be able to help get you laid, but we're not the call her daddy girls where you think that we're gonna, like, steal your wallet. We'll steal, like, I don't know, your hearts. But no, we will not do that.
We will take, like, $20 for nachos, though.
Yeah, we do need $20 for nacho money. This is Megan's new thing.
Nacho money always.
She just gets $20 from people. She's like, I need nacho money, and they're just always like, okay. They don't even, like, ask. Like, they don't even,
they're
like,
confused, and they're just like,
why do you need money for nachos? Like, especially if we're at a bar or something, and, like, you just order from the server, and you're just like, I need nacho money.
Whatever, it works.
It does work. But no, so yeah, we're ever evolving, and if we can help you guys through this weird journey of life and help you get laid, that's what we're here for. Like, we know all the tricks and all the secrets. Why can't we share it with you?
Right? We are the secret keepers, but
that is very true. We have a lot of secrets. That's why my head is so big.
Ninja Turtle sized secrets.
Ninja Turtle size secrets. And that's a pretty big secret. So we just like to we help relationships, like clearly this one, the Nichols family. We did an entire Dr. Phil episode where I don't think any of their problems are solved.
Mrs. Nichols has now made her Instagram private. That's all that I know that has changed.
Well, I hope he's still posting some dank motivation quotes.
He has not posted on any social media platform, which, I mean, if you go from being #1 Twitter, like, bro, like he was well into the Twitter crowd, and then go to nothing, I'm just like, how is that even possible? So I have yet to find Mr. Nichols' burner, but it's got to be around.
Stuck your dick where it didn't belong. That's how it's possible.
Yeah, but, like, she's leaving you, so it's like you have free time.
I have a feeling that they're still together.
Yeah, I think so, too. I do think so, and I suppose she probably, like, makes him turn in his phone when he comes home. I don't know.
I can't imagine living that life. I would literally shoot myself. I would just be like, you guys, this isn't worth it. Like, I don't want to sleep next to you anymore. I miss my side of the bed being my entire bed. And I know we have 4 kids together, but you know what? We'll figure it out. Okay?
We'll figure it out.
Let's just not do this.
Oh, God.
That's why I feel like a lot of the times that you see those things on Twitter, like they end with like, we're both adults. I'm like, give me drama.
Yeah, we need the drama, for real.
As long as
so it'll come back. We just have to be patient. We have to be patient. I know he can't last during football season, so, I mean, if we have to wait till August, we have to wait till August. We'll see.
Most guys can't last during football season.
Anyway, we were going into 610. That was a long off the beaten path. Sorry.
But you said it's time, so you have to explain what time it is.
So like I said, we've talked a lot. I've mentioned a lot, I guess, about how we're blocked by 610, and can't see any of their tweets and things. Which, also on a side note, whatever, blocking somebody is laughable. We all have 20 accounts. So we could, I mean, nobody's searching for your tweets 610, but this is more to other people that go that route. So yeah, we've been blocked, and the reason is Miss Gracie Ann. That's when she's in trouble.
Always.
610 tweeted out a photo. I don't even know what the photo was originally.
Something
it was of a
stupid,
dude, but
I'm
why
sure.
was he there? Yeah, it was some picture of a guy.
Honestly, that's what I think of 610 usually. It's like a bunch of dudes, but why are they there?
Yeah, true. So it was a picture of a dude, and behind him was like a marker board, and up in the corner it says Twitter password, and it had 610's password. Do you remember what it was at the time?
610 rules.
610 rules was their password. First of all, the fact that you need to write that down to remember it.
610 rules.
Second of all, that's what we went for. 610 rules. Like, nobody's gonna guess that. I'm surprised that they didn't, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get into that later. So anyway, that's what they changed, or that's what they posted on their own Twitter account, their own Twitter password. They didn't know that. I mean, they're dumb for not seeing it, but they didn't intentionally do that. So Gracie Ann got into their Twitter account because they posted their Twitter password.
It's not hacking if you just give me your password.
Right? It is not hacking. It's not illegal. You posted it.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, it wasn't just me. I know that for a fact. There's like probably like,
fighting for control.
4 or 5 different people like were all starting to tweet things from there. The only one that I will take responsibility for, the only one, and this is one that I thought was pretty obvious, but people didn't realize this at all. I changed their handle to "We like Sprots and we don't care who knows."
Yeah.
And then I said, "We're not even the best sports radio station in the city." That's all I said.
Which, I mean, it's a fact.
But how do you see that it says "We like Sprots and we don't care who knows"? Know that I've publicly beefed with like a lot of their, I guess talent is a loose word.
Right.
And then be like, "Oh, I don't know if it was her." I'm like, there was some stuff that like went way further than what I would do. It wasn't anything bad. I just think that they were like people just started jumping on the like, oh my god, 610's hacked, how did this happen? And they all figured it out. Like, it was just kind of a spiral effect. But I don't think 610 realized what was going on until people started being like, what the heck is this?
It took a while. Like, you logged in, and then one of my other friends, I don't want to out other people because I can't be responsible for them, but
Right.
some other people that we know did log in, and they were all tweeting ridiculous stuff. Like, I mean, when you have somebody else that with that many followers that you don't like,
That's like a verified news source on Twitter.
Right, like, obviously you're gonna tweet stupid things, like, to get them in trouble. It's funny. This is what the world is. So, yeah, they were on there, I want to say, oh gosh, it was probably 20, 30 minutes before 610 realized. So then 610's social media person, I assume, I don't know if it was them or not, tried to get back in and take control, but they didn't have anything set up to do that, like to block other people from being in there.
No,
they had
didn't.
No two-factor authorization. They didn't have anything protected. Like, you could go in there and change it to be two-factored with your own email or your own phone number and lock 610 out of their own fucking
I was
account.
this close to doing it too. Damn it.
Yeah, so like, they protected nothing. When you have, how many followers do they have? They have a lot. Like,
I think like 54,000 or something.
Okay, you have 54,000 followers and you don't have this protected. Like, what are you thinking? Plus, your fucking password is 610 rules.
It reminds me of Billy Madison when it's like O'Doyle rules.
Yeah, O'Doyle rules. So I haven't honestly thought about logging back in, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to try, and I encourage you all to try.
I think they changed it, but we don't know.
I know that they changed it from 610 rules, but I would be shocked if they changed it to anything that didn't already have 610 in it, like 610 rules with a Z or something ridiculous. Like, I don't think it's that hard to figure out. So I'm not going to say I'm going to try after this show, but I am.
Well, in other sports radio news this weekend,
yes, there was quite the meltdown on the other station. So that was 610, and 810, Kevin Keithman decided to tweet out some suspect things of his own accord. He was not hacked.
No, he was not. Can we just make it clear that the majority of the time he tweets, we all think he's hacked, right? But like, breaking news, it's just his bad opinions.
Yeah. So Kevin Keithman went off. He was going off on what? It was a KU recruit, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about KU or this kid, so I don't know. Like, I can only go off of what people were saying in the replies, that he was being racist and something else. I can't remember what they were accusing him of, but do you know anything there?
Yeah. I don't know. If you want to just basically look at the situation in general, like you look at it and it's like, it doesn't really need to be any context. There doesn't really need to be anything further than why is a grown-ass sports radio personality questioning somebody's clothes and appearance and connections. Like, just shut the fuck up, Kevin. Like,
right.
Is there just like can somebody just put him in a, this is ideal. This is, I mean, if I were to be an image consultant for A10, which, good God, that's obviously way off. I would say, let's put him in a room where he thinks he's in a studio, and you just tell him he's on air every day. And as all of us in Kansas City can band together, that if we want to make Kansas City a better place, we will just all lie to Kevin every single time we see him and say, that was a great show today, man.
Best show ever.
Best show yet. You are just killing it with these opinions and these topics and these ideas. You just keep those takes coming. You just keep going. But it turns out we're actually recording this all for a psychiatric ward and whatever close by hospital that we can possibly find that will take him and just check him for some, I don't know. Maybe he got hit in the head by something. Maybe too many blowjobs in parking lots. I don't know.
Yeah, he's I don't know. I can't even say that, like, his local fame is getting to his head, because, like, he's not getting any more popular. Everyone hates him. Constantly.
Yeah. like our interactions with him were limited. I mean, people ask all the time, they're like, what was it like? It was like, well, he was like sharing a wall behind us when we were in there, and he would just like yell and scream and like cackle to himself.
Yeah, and give us very dirty looks. But
He hated us. I mean, I
we
get
did
it.
roll in like ridiculous outfits every day.
Oh, that
so.
is, I don't care. That's the best part. But like that generation, and if that's true, if he just doesn't like us because we were over the top, obnoxious, whatever, that's fine. But like this day and age, nobody gives a fuck about what a guy that's been on the radio for this long with this bad of opinions. And I mean, honestly, you look through the mentions this weekend, and everyone's like, every day I turn my radio off at 2 from 8:10 and I switch it over. So I'm like, if every other program on your radio station is awesome and there's like great, and I mean, they're different demographics. It's different demographics and different listeners and everything except, I mean, I have yet to meet, we met that one guy who was super rude at Big 12 tournament. That was Jake's best friend and was like,
Yeah.
I love Kevin Kuchman. I'm like, okay, like, congrats. He didn't even, like, we didn't even bring up Kevin. He just started talking about Kevin.
He did, yeah. He
like,
was the only person in the world.
And I'm like, how much does he pay you to say that? But no, it was messy. It was just messy because I'm like, I'm on Team Sam, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna like. I think that it's really bad when the press, especially local media here, which already has a reputation of being stuck in the mud and kind of being like the old, not even old boys club, but you literally have to be like in Kansas City for like 10 years before they even consider like letting you have a 5-minute interview on one of those shows. It's just, it's ridiculous. But yeah, like I'm kind of like, you just shut the fuck up. You can't have this like dictatorship of a radio station where only people that agree with you can. And he's like, I play calls or opinions from all different people that disagree with me, blah 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 blah. And someone's like, well, yeah, you said you do that at the end of your show. No one's listening. So like by that point,
nobody
like,
makes it that far.
your listener's gone, homie. Like no one's there, Kevin. Right. So I don't know. I just think that it'd be better if we just let him pretend to be on the radio Monday through Friday and just like put him in a room that his takes can never get out, and he'll just have his friends call him, tell him that it's Darren Rovell, and just pretend that it's other people, and then he thinks that he has this amazing show. Protect his tweets and don't tell him.
That would be a good one.
Give him a account that like what else could he get into trouble?
His password is probably super easy. His password is probably 610 sucks.
Yeah, his password is probably like I can only imagine. I feel like we should guess Kevin Keatsman's Twitter password.
Yeah, just hop on in there.
Bad takes would be obviously number one.
Bad takes? I don't think, but no, because he won't admit to it. Like.
Oh yeah, that's true. If we're doing it from like what he would put in his password.
Right, he's like #1 sports radio guy.
Or KK rules.
KK rules. It might be that. I don't know.
I think we should. It's probably like something like Sports 123.
Also true. He is old, so.
Or he's so paranoid. That's another thing we have to figure that out. Is if he's so paranoid that he changes his password to like one of those like Google CAPTCHA things, or like the automated or the generated ones. That could be a thing.
He'd have to like. Does he use a laptop? I don't ever look.
I don't know.
Because he'd have to keep like one of those around all the time.
So we gotta steal his laptop now.
Yeah, I feel like if you stole Keatsman's laptop, it would have everything. Or I feel like he's also the type to have like a legal pad.
He has nothing else, but
I feel like that would have everything on it.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to get into the mind of Kevin Keatsman ever. I honestly just hope.
His DMs. Does he have DMs open?
Probably not.
I wouldn't. So hateful. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still surprised every single time that he's on a remote somewhere, and like people still pay him to show up places. I'm like, how?
That is true. Well, that one guy that we met at Big 12, like.
Yep, that's #1 Keats guy. Well, I'm just glad
fan.
We've had some fun drama lately that we have had absolutely zero part of. We have corrected our drama for the year. Our Zen is fucking flowing. What is going to be our tarot for the week? Have we figured out our mood for the week?
I'm not doing tarot for the week. We did a tarot poll on the past, present, and future of the Chiefs since we're going into draft week. So we can get into that now if you want.
Yeah, what's our poll?
So I did this morning a tarot reading for the Chiefs. I was just like, in case you don't know how tarot works, you just basically think about, put all of your energy out into what you want an answer to, and then pull the cards. Really easy. So I thought about the Chiefs, and it actually turned out pretty cool. So I did a 3-card pull, which is past, present, future. So the past, we got the Tower. I can't see myself, so hopefully that's...
I think so. Yeah.
The Tower. All of them were upright, too, which is generally positive stuff, so that kind of worked out.
Sorry, I'm having my contact jump out of my eyes, so I apologize for the... it's great. I'll just put on my glasses. How about that?
Yes, because those are real. The Tower means severe or abrupt change, loss or accident, traumatic event, ruin, and upheaval. So basically, our past as the Chiefs were just complete trash, and that's accurate. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Well, especially because the Chiefs put out this article today, and I stopped myself from saying it. And sorry that I look like Ray Orbison, but what up? But they put out this article today that was like, the Chiefs draft passed. I'm like, I don't want to read this.
No.
Like,
it's probably not good, such as this card says.
Yes.
It was bad. But also, like, we had an abrupt change, loss or accident, traumatic event. I would say losing playoffs, getting rid of Alex Smith, all of that stuff qualifies for our past cards. So we already know the past. We were there, whatever. But the point of looking up your past, and especially since we got a major card like this, is it's like it really wants you to reflect on it and learn from mistakes. So
okay.
Hopefully we're paying attention to that. David said, welcome to Sprots Takes with Doe, and I only wear sponsored clothing now. I don't know what that means. Doe.
Well, I don't know. You kind of look like you just have a very doe-eyed look, and then you have your little camo hat on, so maybe you...
I guess. Technically, I'm wearing sponsored clothing because this is a comedy
Technically,
event
I can't see it, so...
Yes, you can.
No,
not with your freaking glasses on.
Well, no, like,
you can see that.
Not in the frame. That's what I meant. Like, it's not like they can see that you're wearing sponsored clothing. That's all.
They can't. But when we're doing our commandeer shout out later, just kidding.
Wow,
Female rabbit joke.
Blow our secrets. Our surprise shout outs.
I don't know what that means. Female rabbit joke got from yesterday.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Okay. In your DMs that you guys aren't supposed to be having. Just kidding.
Feisty boy. Like, Taurus season for you is just you being a bitch. You're a little bullheaded bitch.
Yeah, that is true.
Man, I just came in here for nothing but love for you. I just was like so excited to hear about like all the things that you had put together, and you're just like, no, not today.
It's accurate.
I dig it. I like getting roasted by you all the time.
Anyway, the Chiefs' present card is Death, which sounds bad. It sounds bad, but it's really not. I mean, it kind of is bad, but it
I'm
whatever.
really
But
looking
honestly,
forward to how
this
you're going to
looks
spin
creepy.
this one, because this is terrifying.
No, I mean, like anything, death doesn't mean death, So since we got it upright, it means change, metamorphosis, an end of ways kind of thing. So that could go 2 ways. That could go one, like our present is last season where we had that big change with Hunt. We got rid of him. It actually, the number 13, which is this card, is a karmic number, meaning we need to learn a life lesson in order to evolve. So perhaps that was our life lesson with Hunt. Like, maybe we should kind of get ahead of shit and not hide it, Chiefs. And so I'd assume that could be what they're going with the Tyreek Hill stuff going on right now. Like, they're getting ahead of it. They're going to solve it. They're not going to brush it under the rug and find out about it 3 months from now. Or in a less fun way, it could be directly at the Hill stuff where something not great is going to happen there, where we're going to have to lose him, at him being our loss in the end of ways. So I don't know, but we did hear some rumors this weekend. I don't know if you want to share those.
Yeah, like I don't want to brag about this because it's not even a humble brag. It's just like it's fact.
Right.
We know actually 100% like in our minds that the Chiefs are going to handle this well because we know that there's a lot of communication going on in the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out from a very, very, very reliable source that we're not going to name because it's just like, well, but it's one of those things that I've kept in my back pocket for a long time. And I've never actually tried to like utilize that route for any sort of information. It's always just been family friend kind of thing. And the fact that it just kind of like threw itself in our laps on Easter, I was like, well,
Right.
here we go. But I would just like to say that I have full faith that the Chiefs have learned from the Hunt situation, and that this is kind of a very interesting card because, like you said, rebirth, change. So this is going to be a really huge opportunity, I think, for the Chiefs to show that they've learned from the mess of the Hunt situation, and they've learned from domestic violence situations in the past. And this is I don't want to say their time to shine, but it kind of is.
Mm-hmm. And they need to. And I mean, everybody's looking at them when they've had two scandals back to back, which this one is a scandal that we made into a scandal. It wasn't, I guess, originally a scandal, if everything is as it sounds, where it's more of not involving Tyreek directly. But either way, he's on the team, and after having dealt with Hunt poorly, this is their chance. Everybody's watching to find out what happens here, so, and how they handle it. So,
and I'm watching a lot of the media right now, and it's not because I'm paranoid and I think that the media is, a complete disaster. I have to say I respect the hell out of a lot of the journalists, and Megan and I have talked about this a lot about, we couldn't do what they do. We could not be in those locker rooms and asking questions that the players don't want to be answering, and just be in those situations where it's super uncomfortable. And journalists do a great job. A lot of the time they don't get enough credit for being incredible writers and storytellers, because I think that that's what I think that's what a lot of the writers that are still writing for newspapers at sell at, is telling the personal side of their stories. I don't think that somebody flagrantly mishandling information, and then it's just, I said this to you, it's so weird for me because you see the chaos and the mess that happened with Brooke Pryor's reporting of the Kansas City Star. As someone who could never be a journalist and like a reliable source of news, I am unconfirmed for life because of that kind of pressure, because I would fold in a heartbeat if I had to accurately, quickly, and smoothly report something along the lines of alleged child abuse or anything like that. I would just stay away from it. And that's why a lot of people have been asking us, why haven't you talked about this Tyreek Hill thing? I'm like, one, I don't want to. Two, we don't know everything. And it's just such a vague and weird and like open-ended conversation that there's really no information that we could give you that you haven't seen elsewhere. I don't know. How do you feel about it? We don't need to talk about just to jump on the hot takes bandwagon.
Right. Well, and like you said, we don't know things. Like, I hate to be like, it's hard to say like, wait until you know things to talk about anything, because then like that's going to stop a lot of conversations. But like, even with this stuff that we found out this weekend from, like you said, a reputable source, Gat was like, let's talk about it on the show. And I was like, we don't even know if that guy knows.
Okay,
no.
Okay, that's, I did not say let's talk about it on the show. I was trying, because I told my dad, I was like, I flat out, like, because we were talking about this, because he even said, well, why don't you talk about it? I was like,
yeah.
I was like, do you want to talk about that? Because I don't want to do that. It was more of like, I was hoping that you would be like, yeah, let's stay away from that. So I just want to clarify.
Yes,
I was not I was like, I did not want to do this too. I was like, I was not about to fucking I was not about to have that moment of let's break news that we can't actually tell you the source of it all.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like, we are number one fact checky boys. Like, I don't want to go out on a limb, and like, we're not going to put our necks out there for something that we don't know, especially as controversial as like this situation is. Like, from what we've heard, if all of that were true, then yeah, we would talk about it, because really it's not as bad as it sounds. But I don't know if that's true either. So
yeah, I
Like,
I don't know. It was just like one of those. It was one of those moments where we're all just like sitting out on the patio. It was very beautiful out. The sun was like shining very perfectly, very Easter like. And then this beacon of information just comes forward. I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna let this one die down. I just do not. I don't. There's no need for it. And like that's the other thing. I don't want to be. I don't want athletes and people afraid to talk to me because they think I'm gonna like leak information. Yeah, we talk for a fucking living.
right.
So, but I just because I talk for a living doesn't mean I just need to fucking rattle off all the stuff that people tell me. I think it's very important to keep some sort of integrity because trust is a huge thing, especially if you want to do work with athletes later on. And that's why I think that the podcasts that feature the athlete interviews that aren't like that weren't the guys like Colin Coward just roasting Baker Mayfield and saying horrible things. Nobody wants to listen to that. Everybody wants to listen to Baker Mayfield talking to the part of my take guys instead because it's going to be more fun. So it's
Right.
like it just what do you think where the future is headed? Do you think it's headed back to newspapers? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. And I mean, that's what they have to do. They have to, like, well, even with newspapers, like, you kind of have to go in blind, not knowing, because it's still a newspaper. Like, you have to go to print. Like, yes, all of the stories are online too, but like, they're actually printing these in the paper as well. So, like, they have to just kind of go with it and stick with it. And that's what they're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
good on you, I guess. Like, even like with the Brooke Pryor stuff, like, yes, I'm laughing at her, but no, I'm not dragging her either. Because, like, I don't know. Maybe it'll all come out that she was right the whole time. Like, we don't even know for sure that she's wrong. Um, I mean, we do, like, her original article was misleading for
Mm-hmm.
sure and shouldn't have been printed the way that it was. But technically, she didn't print anything incorrect, but it made it sound very, very bad.
Right. And
So, like, it's, I don't even know.
the
It's
best thing that
tricky.
we can do right now, and this is what I think a lot of people are talking about, is to the damage control on our end. The damage control that the Chiefs can do in this situation is already going in place. Like we already, like I said, we know that this is a fact. You can argue with us, you can whatever, but it's fine. We're right. And the the thing is that we can do now in this draft class is, we had a guy that was questionable, Marcus Peters. I remember when we were talking about drafting him, and he came from Washington, and he was had an attitude at Washington, had some issues on off field. I can't remember what it was, but Marcus Peters was considered, kind of a locker room liability. And
Mhm.
look what happened. He ended up being just that. I mean,
Right.
he was great. His rookie year was incredible, but people kind of figured out the Marcus Peters thing. I'm still mad about it a little bit because I think it
Okay.
could have been handled better, because when you have young kids coming into teams, and I know that, I don't know, like we've talked about how baseball draft and the football draft is totally different, like night and day.
Right.
And
Definitely.
you don't have the immediate impact that, a guy like Marcus Peters was going to have. And so there's just like a lot that you need to look out for. But to kind of set those young kids up to fail like that, in football, these kids just want to get signed. They want to get on a team. They want to make a team. They want to be on the roster. That's their end goal. They might not always be thinking like, oh, well, maybe I should keep my mouth shut and do this and this just in case, this might bother. They're just trying to make a spot. So I don't know. It's a weird lesson for the Chiefs to be like, okay, well, if you publicly speak out against us or act inappropriately on the field, you're gone. But it's just everyone got so mad about that too, and everyone's like, oh, his attitude.
Right.
So what can the Chiefs do to prevent the fans bitching? Is probably take something safe,
Hmm.
something that we need: defensive tackle, cornerback, something obviously on defense, because I think we've got plenty of weapons on offense, and we're cultivating new ones every day. But it's just like, okay, it's a safe move, right? You go with the safe move.
Well, I mean, the safe move and what, like, I don't know. I don't care about draft stuff, so I haven't looked into it. I don't know if there's anybody particularly out there that's on the defensive wise, but like, no matter what, they need to be going for defense across the board. Like,
Yeah.
Mahomes makes a weapon out of anybody on offense, so we are fine. Um, but yeah, they have to go for defense, and I would definitely steer clear of anybody that has even a hint of a rumor that says, like, I don't know what the football version of clubhouse cancer is, but like,
Pretty much same thing.
yeah, like, Do they? Well, they don't call
Locker
it
room.
a locker room
Locker
leper.
room leper. Oh, that's a good one. Because I think using the term cancer, I'm like, damn, that's rough.
Yeah. So, just a bad guy in general. Anybody that has any sort of record, a police record, let's just go ahead and not for now. We've got enough of that.
That'd be
We've
chill.
hit our quota. Let's just be calm. Let's take the safe route. I mean, realistically, we don't need to make any drastic changes that would require us to kind of swallow anybody that's got some issues, you know? Like, we don't have to. Well, that would actually solve the problem if you had swallowed. But we don't have to, like, take that risk. We don't need the liability. Don't laugh at me.
I can't help it. I mean, when we were like, yeah, we're not going to go into it, like, you would have solved the problem by swallowing. Like, oh, okay. Way to take a neutral stance there, killer.
Well,
It's true.
surprise, you birthed a killer, so. Not anybody on the Chiefs, mind
No.
you. I'm just saying, in general. You know, murders come from somewhere.
From you.
Yeah,
And possibly you. Have a kid and
possibly
find out.
me, which is why I'm not making children.
That's the thing. It's like, you don't know. Like, you could be giving birth to a serial killer, and it's like, you don't know until, like, it grows up. So, like, hey,
Yeah.
take your
like,
chances.
No. Yeah, you don't know. Most of them are born that way, you know? But, I mean, half that's your fault. It's half your genes.
Yeah.
So you're half a murderer in somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yes, I agree with your opinion that we should go nice and easy, keep things quiet. I know that a lot of Chiefs Twitter is ablaze with wanting to trade Kelsey or trade picks, things like this. They're kind of, I suppose they're split. Some of the times they want to win now. Some of the times they want to hold on to as much money as they can to pay Mahomes and just be winning-ish for a long time. So I'm not sure. I don't know where we're going to go. Do you know what picks we have? I know I shouldn't throw that at you like right off the bat.
We are later in the first round. I'm completely blanking. It's fine. But more importantly, like, and not more importantly, obviously that's very important, but like that puts a question up for what is more important to you, something that might be good down the line or trading picks for proven talent. And
Right.
you know, I'm sorry, I look like Roy Orbison today. And I'm lecturing people about like taking.
Yeah, people are very confused by it.
My eyes won't stop watering and it looks like I'm crying. So there.
I'm cool with it.
I
I
know.
don't
5
mind the
minutes later,
Ray Charles version of Sprout Steaks.
Yeah, it's Roy Orbison, not Ray Charles.
I don't know who that is.
It's fine.
Is it a...
Poor Roy. He just sang that Pretty Woman song. That's a question I also have to ask. Why are blind people singing about how pretty people look? Because like Stevie Wonder sings "Isn't She Lovely," Roy Orbison sings "Pretty Woman." I'm like,
true.
you guys don't know. Is it just like we're gonna go the metaphysical route? Her soul's lovely.
Well, yeah. Or like, I don't know. They say that, I don't know what the point is, but like that they can feel like if you're pretty, but then like you really have nothing to compare it to.
Like, what would an
I don't
ugly
know.
face feel like? I just have a lot of questions.
Lumpy.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways,
Can they feel your jowls? Like, oh, you're fat.
well, yeah. So in the movie, he would always feel the wrist. He would, because I watched it the other day. It was on HBO.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, so it's the Ray movie, and that's what he does. He feels the wrist. So that's how they know. I just don't. Oh God, my eyes are terrifying right now, and it's not because somebody asked on Periscope. They're like, "Is it because you're high?" I was like, "No, God."
I don't think you'd see anyway. We use enough lighting to make it look white anyway.
That's a very good point. But anyways, so the draft, that's where you have to say, is like a draft pick worth more to you, or is actual talent that can help you right here and now? That's the question. I mean, regardless of what we're going to do in the draft, we're just gonna have to find something that fits our team now.
Right.
Like we don't have, I don't know. That's where people, if we're gonna get a good trade, if we're gonna get something proven for something that's not proven, because I don't know when, like besides Mahomes, D Ford was one of our first draft picks. He's gone. Eric Fisher was number 1 overall. He's doing all right. Um, you know, Mahomes was by far the biggest like home run the Chiefs have ever hit. Obviously, we know that. So that's why I'm just kind of sitting back and thinking, okay, what are we gonna do if all the picks that we could have possibly got that we think would be right out the gate would make an impact on the Chiefs? What if they're all gone and we're left with this mediocre pick? Because it's not 22nd. I said that and I was like, there's no way. It's 29th. So now that I actually thought about it, but we've had.
Well, duh, because we did well. I'm
yeah,
done.
it's okay because I was like literally thinking like, oh yeah, what is it? Oh yeah, it came into my. It's fine. But like, it's Monday. It's the day after Easter, and I did have
What pick do we have? I don't know. You lost the Super Bowl. Let's do math.
we lost the AFC Championship, so we would have the third. It's cool, guys. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna learn numbers one of these days. It's not called like smart people takes. It's called Sprots takes. It's not even the word's not even a fucking real
not math
word.
takes, fuckers.
Yeah, it's not. It's not math takes, fuckers. Yeah, that's what we need because I don't like stats because they confuse me. It's cool, but I do remember numbers. I just don't know how to put them together. So maybe I just need to go back and learn Common Core or something. Maybe it would help for a complete idiot like myself that can't figure it out. I have no idea.
Perfect.
Numbers takes
for the shit out of this draft.
Yeah, we're gonna be so smart. We're gonna know all the numbers.
Smart.
But no, I did.
You don't need numbers for a tarot.
That's true. So the draft is going to be our future. So before we even talk about like what I think we should do, very briefly, what does the future of it look like? What is our future? Because you did the past, present.
I did. Past, present, so future is our draft and our 2019 season. We got King of Swords. That's a big deal. It's a big card.
Upright, too.
Very powerful upright card. And it basically goes along with kind of what you've already predicted for the draft, which is, says using one's willpower to an end, controlling leadership, determination, disciplined, lawmaker, logical. So that's everything you said. We have the leadership. We have Mahomes. Like, he's willful. He's controlling, not controlling per se, but he's disciplined. So is Travis Kelce, very disciplined. Andy Reid is, logical lawmaker type of thing. So that's all we need to continue this trend through the draft. So exactly what you said. Somebody safe, somebody ready to play, which in my opinion, everybody in the first round should be ready to play.
Yeah.
Realistically, everybody in the first 3 rounds is going to be ready to play for the Chiefs because we have no defense. So just pick somebody safe, somebody a sure bet. Don't rock the boat. We have no reason to. We're not going to sign Mahomes, in my opinion, this year. Just keep it steady.
I agree. That's incredibly logical coming from 2 people that root for chaos most of the time.
Yeah. Normally, I love it. Right now, we have enough police reports to last me for some time.
Yes, I am rooting for the most boring and winning season of all time. Last year was a fucking roller coaster. I'm not mentally prepared to do that again. And I don't want to. I don't want to have a Chiefs season where we don't know what's going on and the Chiefs just kind of look like they're out of control. And I also hate the way people say national news media, but it's true. The national news media did not focus on what we wanted them to be focusing on for the majority of our season. They're all like, what are they going to fuck up now?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't forget. And that's, the Tyreek thing people have obviously felt very strongly about. Larry Johnson is losing his mind on Twitter lately. I don't know what he's talking about, but it's terrifying. I'm blocked on my main account, but if you don't have 10 burners, who are you? But I looked at his, he's just talking about Satan and all these weird things happening, and he's just fucking lost it. So it's just it's been a really weird like time, and I think we need the draft to go well in order for
Mhm.
Kansas City to refocus and re-zen themselves, because
Right.
it is a very weird thing seeing Casey Star 8-10 people fighting, seeing like weird everyone hating on one writer at the KC Star, which Brooke, obviously they've just been roasting her left and right,
Hmm.
and then seeing like other people just like beefing constantly. I'm like, great, what else does Kansas City need to get out of its system? Like, why are you guys being so feisty lately?
I don't know. They are very feisty, and it's not even like the warm months. Like warm months are when everybody gets real feisty because they're hot. We're not even there yet, guys. So it'll be interesting. But I agree. I want it to be so boring that we're 4-0, and like everybody's like, I'm sick of watching us win. Like I
Yeah,
want to be that boring.
that's it. And it's like it comes down to, do you think that the Chiefs are really going to get what they need at the end of a first round? Like, you talk the first like 10, 15 picks. If we had one of those, hell yeah, I would be like, let's just get somebody. But I don't, but this is the thing. And like, this is what I've been saying for a long time. I know it sounds like I'm just beating a dead horse. Johnny Cueto. I had to talk about Pop. I am sorry. I had to bring it up.
Highly unnecessary.
Highly unnecessary. I expected you to throw a flag. I really did. I was just like bracing myself. We need to get flags made. All right, writing it down. But
Writing it down.
just the level of ineptitude of people's mock drafts are absolutely insane. Like the hot scorching takes that you have to think that you have, like to have like the confidence that somebody wants to hear your opinion about what every team is going to do, not just your team, every team in the NFL is going to do in the NFL draft. Can you imagine having that much free time not getting laid?
Well, and they've had them done. Like a majority of the Kansas City drafts have been done for like at least a week, if not more. Like that takes time. It takes a shit ton of time to make a draft, which I will never, ever, 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 ever in the history of the world do, because if you get one wrong, that literally ruins the rest of them. Or if like one, like you're telling me between a month ago when you started preparing this and today, one of those kids didn't get arrested or like something happened or
Yeah.
they pulled out of the draft or whatever. No, there's no way that something doesn't affect that between a month ago and today. Like you're just setting yourself up for failure. And people are always going to find that one. That one that's like, well, this guy just got arrested, you idiot. Well, I made this a month ago. Well, that's why it's irrelevant. So,
And who has time to have a running mock draft board?
no.
Unless you're getting paid to do it. That's, I mean, I'm not gonna hate on somebody that gets paid thousands of dollars to put
Oh,
together,
absolutely.
or tens of thousands, whatever, like whatever people get paid to do these things. But like, if you have like a mock draft segment and that's like your job and that's what you do, cool.
Mhm.
I just don't want to like be walking around and have somebody, hey, check out my mock draft. That's what I feel like. I feel like it's like, I don't know. How do you feel about when people send you YouTube videos?
I don't think that people do that.
Some people do. Some people are really annoying and they will send
Send
you,
YouTube videos?
yeah, they'll be like, you need to see this YouTube video. It's really funny.
Oh,
You haven't had people do that to you?
no.
My God, what is your life? I am so jealous.
Okay.
Most of the time it's like, I don't want to call you guys out, but some of you, it's so lame. Don't send me YouTube videos saying this reminds me of you, or like this
Ooh.
song reminds me of you, because I'm gonna be like, never listening to it. Great, wonderful. Or I'll listen to it and be like, huh, that's interesting, and then it'll be like my anthem for a week, but then I'll be like, ew, I don't like this because it reminds me of you.
Oh, no.
It's fine. But like, when people send you YouTube videos, they're like, this is so funny, check it out. Very rarely is it funny. That's what my whole point was. It's like,
Okay.
very rarely when somebody's like, oh my God, you need to see this. Oh my God, you need to read this. And it's like not a meme or not a 5 second like long video, because
Mhm.
our attention spans are all shit now.
Yeah.
If it's anything more than that, I'm like, I'm not paying attention to this. Bye. And so when you show a mock draft that one, you have no control over. You have no control over this. You have no say. You have no fucking idea what's going to happen. And how much of your time if you make mock drafts, you are not allowed to complain about not having free time or being too busy for your friends or, not being able to do things cuz you're a dad. Okay, well, that's great. We all have like that's the one thing that really annoys me. The one thing that you can do is come to me and be like, I want to start a podcast and I want to do this, this, and this, but I'm a parent, so I don't have free time. I'm like, you don't have free time. Please shut the fuck up about that already. Because it is like you have this like 8-page mock draft, and I go, oh, so you made this that's going absolutely nowhere. Like Brett Veach.
That's a good point. I'm gonna start throwing that out at people. Like if you didn't get paid for that,
right? Yeah. Like what the fuck are you doing? Do you think Brett Veach is gonna like scour the internet with your like Wix website? You don't even have a website. You're just like putting it up on like I don't even know, like a Google Doc and be like, hey people, it's my blog. No, it's not a blog. You have to have something. Like come on, like what are you doing? So if you have free time to do a fucking mock draft, I don't ever want to hear how you don't have time to like meet up with your buddies or how you can't work out because you don't have free whatever. Just like no. If you have a mock also if you have a mock draft, what is it like just knowing that nobody wants to talk to you? Like, no one wants to hear about your fucking mock draft. And that's what people see you coming and they like run the other direction.
Yeah, I don't.
You never had an office mock draft guide, did you?
No.
Okay, that's also the worst. You're so lucky. You have been blessed with so many things like not having that guy that wants to talk about their fantasy team and also their mock draft. Like, if it's not their fantasy football team, it's a mock draft or training camp.
Yeah. No, no, I don't have any of that. Thank God.
No, but it's just weird. So I don't know. Whatever we do for the little draft thing that I'm putting together, I'm probably just going to do a video of like the top options that I see and that I would like to pick. But chances are they probably won't be available at that place. So we'll just
now see I'm cool with. Like if you're like, these are my favorite 10 guys, no. Or like even if you do, these are my favorite 10 guys for the Chiefs specifically. Okay, like that makes sense. You're picking from a large group of people for one team. Not I'm picking from a large group of people guessing what 30 teams are going to do. There's 30, right?
32.
32 teams are going to do. And see,
we know numbers. See,
math. I swear to God, it'll make sense sometime.
Maybe one day we'll get there.
Literally, whatever. Like it just that math does not compute. Like 1,000 players guessing what 32 teams, which ones they're gonna pick at some time. Like even like I was just looking it up. I just wanted to know because like JJ Watt to me is number one, good player, good boy. Like golden child. Like if you got that guy, I would assume back when he was drafted, you saw him and you're like, that is a sturdy stock of a dude. He's not gonna mess anything up. He's just gonna work. And so like
and live under the stairs of the stadium.
Right. Like he's gonna live at the stadium. He's going to be bleeding whatever color his team. And then like I looked and he got picked 11th, which is still pretty high.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like top 5 like I expected. And so like you don't know. You can't predict that.
No, and then you have first round bust, and then it's like the bust. Oh man, like there have been some huge draft busts, and you just never want to be that team that is known for picking like the next Jamarcus Russell or Ryan Leaf. You don't want to be that team,
right?
No. I think a lot of people try to avoid it by doing really thoroughly vetted research, and I will have to say like scouting, I think used to be a lot lazier than it is now. I think that doing NFL scouting on any level, now it's a really, really, really precise and fairly accurate thing. But same time, you get these cheesy movies like Draft Day. You get these cheesy movies like Trouble with the Curve, where it's like,
right.
Ooh, we get these all these old scouts come out, and there's nothing truly like watching the games and doing this and this. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make sense to me why people are so fucking obsessed with the draft, the NFL draft, but completely fucking ignore it in every other sport, right? Like, is there another sport that makes that big of a deal? Does hockey make that big of a deal about the draft?
Yes and no. I don't notice it as much as a big of a deal. Hockey is a lot closer to football where you get drafted, you're playing.
Okay.
So that one's pretty quick, but then it's it's easier for sports like hockey and it's easier for sports like baseball because most of the top draft picks and stuff like that are in one area. So they're in college or like playoffs. Or especially for baseball, the College World Series is after the draft, I think. Or it might be, they're very close together. I can't remember exactly when. But they get that showcase where you're seeing these are the top players all together right now. There's not really going to be any shockers. Whereas with football, you're pulling from everywhere. Already there's 8,000 bajillion colleges, plus any of the guys that go straight from high school, plus like all of these other wild card factors. Like, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And
I know
that's
that they have a list, right? They declare that they're in the draft, but
right. Well, then there's the pro days, the combines, and all that stuff. And I mean, it's so much. I just didn't know if like any other sport like cared that much. I don't feel like the fans are like get that pumped. They don't like all flock to big city. There's not like a huge red carpet and all that like pomp and
right.
circumstance going on all the time with every sport. I was just like, there's no way that the NFL is the only one that does this. And I'm like, I think they kind of are.
Well, the baseball definitely, I don't know for NHL, I've never watched their draft, but baseball definitely does the whole event
Right.
style of thing, and they make all the guys come, for the most part, they make the top picks come to the actual event, which is kind of fun and stuff, but
But it's not the
I
same
don't
level.
get it.
I just don't think that people like care that much about the baseball draft. You don't see like mock baseball drafts as
No,
much. I mean,
no,
I'm sure there
definitely
are
not.
some way down in the depths of like stat nerd Twitter, just like predicting things. I feel like I don't know, that might be a hobby for somebody. But hey, I'm not one to judge people's hobbies. Like you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
But I'll just
Then
never you'll
I
never
will not.
and I will not do anything related to that. Like even keeping score at a game is still a lot for me. So I don't even think I would be able to do that.
We got a baseball game or a
Yeah,
football?
at a
Oh,
baseball game. I just feel like
it's
that's
pretty
too
fun, but
much.
it's stressful as fuck. So I get it.
Yeah, I don't like doing things that are stressful.
It is because like, well, especially when you're with nowadays with like what's a hit and what's not. Not for me. But like if you got in the routine of it, I imagine it's not
I'm
that bad.
switching
But
glasses, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna see if these help
heyo,
me more so I can see.
sexy library
Sexy
glasses.
library glasses. Well, at least I can see and
So
clean
today's
them.
your favorite football player's birthday.
Yeah, Money Lynch. What up?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess spirit animal would be better. Do you feel like that or
Yeah, the only
not at
problem
all?
is that like Marshawn Lynch is so Oakland and I'm so Kansas City. I feel like we're a lot alike in the fact that we have love for where we come from. But after that, I mean, I'm not a West Coast person. I'm very much a Midwestern human being. I just look like I'm Midwest. I feel like I look Midwestern. I like
Hmm.
feel like I'm very just happy here without the impending tsunamis that are going to wipe out the earth. We're going to be very safe in Kansas City
God.
without that problem. But yeah, like I just don't think that I exist well outside the Midwest.
I could see that. Like I can feel that. I'm not like saying you particularly, but like, I very much feel Midwest. Like I feel like going. I've lived a lot of other places, or at least visited for extended amounts of time, and they just run differently. Like
Yeah,
I'm a Midwestern girl. We're casual.
very casual, even down to the point where sometimes I'm a little too casual. But at leisure wear is coming back into style, so we're fine.
That is true.
We're
It is
good.
very popular. All right. So last thing before we move off of football, you tweeted out about your favorite football movie, and you've tweeted this often. So if people don't know your answer by now, they ought to.
Well,
But
yeah, but I do have to make a clarification though,
okay.
because like there's two levels of football, pro and not pro. I have to say, favorite non-pro movie is 100% Varsity Blues.
Okay.
Favorite pro movie would have to be Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
So neither one of those, people were like getting so mad at me because of Remember the Titans. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. In my football movies, I like it was too much. Remember the Titans was like, I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Do we need to worry about spoiler alerts?
Spoiler alert, plug your ears.
Because the movie came out in like 1998, but it's
Yep.
cool. The problem with Remember the Titans is it's so much. It's like you got the racism roller coaster where you're fighting, where trying to desegregate the schools and you have that storyline. You have a little girl friendship that they're both two different little girls. One's growing up without a mom and has nothing but football. The other has football and both her parents, but is fighting the racism. And then it's like, and then also on top of that, you've got the love part of it, and then you got like the best friendship with Julius and Gary, and then you got the sad part. And I'm like, this is just too much. This is just too much. You've got pressure on the coach to you have to have a perfect season, and it's just like, don't you feel like that's just too much?
I agree. It's very little actual football in that movie, as much as the undertones of football, which is fine. That is a topic, but I don't know. Entertainment value. I mean, I guess it was entertaining, but it's not something I'm excited to watch. Like, yeah, let's go be sad.
Yeah, because like even Blindside, I love that movie, but it was still like sad and depressing in ways that I did not grow up in a small town, and I don't know if I just like romanticized it, but there didn't really seem to be much parallel to like small town rural school football. Whenever we would play other schools, like we would travel, and we're big old 6A school, and you would go be driving through these towns, and it's like every single person in that town was at the football game. And it was like very similar to seeing all these little whatever it was in Varsity Blues, like their little games. Strippers weren't really a big part of my high school career.
Okay.
But they were that it has strippers too, so it has football, tits, partying, whatever. I don't know. Like, do you have a favorite football movie? Because I feel like if you did, you would like love Varsity Blues more.
My favorite football movie, people would probably get mad about. I didn't look at the responses to see if anybody picked it, but my favorite football movie is Little Giants.
Oh, okay.
So
I forget about that movie.
it's football light. It's football for the children's. But it at least had a lot of football like game action.
Right.
Unlike some other ones. So like plus Icebox, like who doesn't love a strong female lead? Come on.
True.
So yeah, that's my favorite football movie. I've never seen Varsity Blues, so I cannot. I think we started it. Didn't
No,
we,
it's not for lack of trying. I've literally been like when we were down at the Big 12, Megan and I were in the room, and I was like, I have to see this. Like, we have to watch this movie. I had been quoting it all night. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Couldn't get it to like work at all.
That's true.
Tried multiple routes. So I think one night we tried to watch it at my house, but I can't remember what was going on. All I know is that we didn't end up watching it. But it's just so like perfect 90s movie. But it was like 1999 when it came out, so it's like right when we started. I don't know. I don't think I was allowed to watch it. I never saw it in theaters.
I would hope not. You'd be pretty young for that, probably.
Yeah, I would be really young. I got in trouble on a dating site this weekend and this has to do with Varsity Blues, because it said describe your perfect date, and I was not taking it seriously at all. It was just something I was setting up because I'm doing research. I'll explain later. Maybe not. Maybe not. No. But is like describe your perfect date, and I was like, okay, so there we are. We go back in time and we see Varsity Blues in theaters because that's something I never got to do. And then we decide, well, since we're already here, let's go make a fortune on sports gambling. And then we have enough money to peacefully live the rest of our lives, knowing that our first date was like this epic, like life-altering thing. It was just ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous possible first date I could have ever come up with, and it just kept going on and on and on. They, like, very rarely do they write back to you personally and tell you, no, that is not going to be approved on this site. But they specifically said, we don't really understand how time travel is a possibility for a first date option. So they had to have read it and personally responded to this horrible story and been like, what is wrong with you?
I have never heard of anybody like having a dating app reply to them.
Yeah. They're like, you cannot have that as your first date story or like your choice.
That's so funny.
It's like they're like, you're supposed to take the site seriously. I'm like, oh, my bad.
That's hilarious.
I
You got
know.
in trouble.
I got in trouble
That's so
for.
funny.
But what if that was really my dream?
Right. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, yeah, it's not possible in theory.
In
But
theory.
it at least explains like what you're into. Like, you like varsity blues, you like sports betting, like
Yeah, I thought it was
you like
pretty.
money.
I like money, and I like not talking to you again. I think at the end it trailed off into something a little bit more dark. Like we'll both realize that dating is slightly meaningless, and
Oh,
you're either meeting your soulmate or you're meeting someone that you will gradually annoy you enough to where you don't talk to them again.
okay.
But I'm also not
Maybe that was
wrong.
too far.
I don't.
Maybe
But
that
I
was.
didn't. I didn't say it like that. I just said that we'll both eventually fade away or something.
Maybe you should have just gone with I need somebody that thinks my wrists are pretty.
I need a blind guy that thinks I'm pretty. So
That's it. And
that's
then
it.
carried on with your life.
Yep. There we go. I love it. Well, no, I mean, you never know what it's gonna spark. But I didn't realize that football movies were such a like passion of people's.
Well, and especially with like, no offense, but like how many times, not offense to you, but offense to the people of Twitter, how many times it's used. Like, somebody asks that, like, I feel like once a month, what's your favorite football movie? And people are always ready to fight about it.
Always ready to
It's
fight.
like,
But that's Twitter, though. I feel like
holy
when
cow.
you sign up for Twitter, you need to like also realize that you need to grow some internet balls.
That is true. There was a lot of fighting about, well, the fighting is beginning for Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert, that one came out yesterday, but we're going to talk about it right now. So you can turn off the stream. Please don't. Just mute it.
Da 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 da.
That's your warning sound.
Da
That's it.
da 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 da
Da, da.
da da. You have to do the
Oh
other part.
god.
I can't do both parts.
No, you have to. If you're not in stereo with yourself, we quit.
We quit.
We quit. That's it. That's the end of the show. We can't do
Are
it anymore.
you
Because
the island of Westeros? I feel like you would be like Cersei in her tower, but not
I was
Cersei.
like hanging out, like drinking my wine, like, yeah, I
feel
guess
like you
you
and I-
fucks are about to
I feel
die.
like you and I would just be like, "Fuck this shit. Let's just get hammered."
Right? Also, I feel like they revealed kind of in the first season that like, or in the first episode, that the White Walkers can't do water. So if you guys know that, why are we not on the water right now? Give them the fucking land
'Cause
and
they
go
won't
somewhere
come.
else.
Right? They won't like actually show up.
Who won't show up?
Like the White Walkers.
They said something like while they were on the ships that when the Ironborn people were talking with each other, they're like, well, they're not going to cross the water, so we'll be okay. And I'm like, well, we should all cross the water.
Just go.
This
You're already
seems
begging the guy with
rational.
like all the boats. Just make him fucking take you on a boat ride.
That's what I'm saying. So,
If I can.
anyway, know what?
No, I was like, if I can offer any advice, like go where those creepy fucking people aren't. But then again, they do. They were not in the water, but they were in the boats. Remember when it was like the first time that the Night King like tortured Jon Snow and was all like, "What up, fam? Like here I am, come get me." And he was like sailing off, or wasn't he? They were like,
I don't remember. It could have happened.
I can't remember who was in the water. If it was Jon Snow in the boats or the Night King. Yeah, I don't think the Night King was on the boat. So yeah.
I mean, I assume they could build a boat. I don't like they're smart, I think. I think they use their brains. I don't know.
I don't even know if they have brains. I don't know if they just blindly follow the Night King. All I know is that Bran, casually, this is the casual part that I don't think anyone really is putting, like, all of this, like, you eliminate Bran as a character, none of this has happened. Bran gets pushed out a fucking window because he sees Jaime and Cersei banging. He becomes this three-eyed raven thing, but because he gets pushed out the window, they have to like halt this whole other thing. There's a murder that comes for him in the night. There's all this like turmoil because the Baratheons are at Winterfell, and so all this chaos happens. And then Ned Stark gets invited back to Westeros, and they go to King's Landing. And it's like, not Westeros. They go to King's Landing. It's like all this stuff. And then Bran, who could have very easily done what they told him to, which is do not touch the White Walkers, do not touch the Night King, do not let him touch you or see you. he lets him touch him. So now the Night King has full direct access to wherever Bran's location. Stick Bran on a fucking boat and set it on fire and send him out another way, or not on fire,
Right.
but like send Bran to a spot that like traps the Night King to come in, because I don't know, I just don't see how this whole army, because like where is the Night King, right?
With
That's
his,
he's with the
what-
dragon,
yeah.
and where's the dragon in him? Like we haven't seen that yet, so it's all this
They're
setup
at the-
thing.
Yeah, they're at the gates, I believe.
Yeah. So, that was a weird thing, but it's like just Bran is just such an irritating fucking character.
Agreed. He's super the worst. Like from season 1, before he was even the Raven. Like, so annoying. I wish they had killed him.
But they didn't. So now we have the three-eyed Raven, and he creeps people out, and it's whatever. I mean, he sees everything, and I think that when Jamie saw him, it was very intense moment. When I guess the other storyline before we get to the worst part of any show that I've ever watched in television history,
Okay.
that Tormund
Excited.
and Brienne were so adorable. Will get you a man that looks at you like Tormund looks at Brienne,
Right. He loves her so much.
and he's
But
just
she
like,
doesn't love him.
no, who does she love?
Jamie.
Well, yeah,
So it's weird that like we're not. I saw somebody tweet out about like how Jamie is like emotionally unstable, fucking his sister, has only one hand, versus Tormund, who like is a super warrior, killed a giant, like super strong, absolutely in love with you, all of this stuff. I was like, and yet we're rooting for Jamie.
yeah. Jamie's got some issues. I thought she was over it too. I thought that she was like, but then when they like saw each other again, it was just way too intense. I was like, oh, she's not over it. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
JK, LOL, love, love, love. So much love. So preface this. You actually watched it when it happened, right? You watched it live-ish?
Fairly, yeah, sort of.
Because
Minus when my Postmates came.
everyone was like telling me, okay, this is gonna be really like it's gonna be, it has to be an action-packed episode. It has to be this. And I'm like, I kind of feel like it was dragging a little bit. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to say that it's like not enough for me. I just want to say that there's been other times this season that I felt like it's been better. Like in the episodes that I thought were gonna lead up to more, I guess, and they just didn't. Like they could have easily wrapped it up, tied it up then and there, I thought.
Right.
The storyline with what is it? I guess Samwell
Yeah.
was a little bit weird. How they're just like immediately like they didn't give him the courtesy of like letting him know that his brother and father had been killed. They just kind of slammed that on him. He's such a sensitive character. Then he kind of got back at them because he's like, hey, you guys are forgetting I'm the one that fucking killed a White Walker, not any of you fucks. I
Right.
did it. And so I thought that was good because I was getting mad about like how much of a pussy they portrayed him to be.
Right. Well, I mean, I think he is. But
He is, but he's been at least a productive and like useful.
he tries.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely tries, for sure.
I can't handle him because he breathes through his mouth and it drives me insane.
Well, the part that gets me is like for how many episodes that they've now spent on setup, which is 2 out of their 6, so they're wasting precious time. But with how many episodes they've had to deal with that, like we have really accomplished almost nothing. Like we had 8 bajillion storylines coming together starting the season. Like before the season, they set it all up for them all to combine and whatever. And like meanwhile, it's happening. They're all combining, but really, we've gotten no closure on anything except for maybe Jamie asking Bran no hard feelings for trying to kill you. Like outside of that, everything is still all loose endy, and now we have to go fight a battle, and we're just gonna be left like hanging and not sure about anything.
I just, whatever they do from here on out, just I think you and I think the world can agree on this. Like the 896,000 people that all watched it. That was not a very high number, so way higher than that. Times it by 1 million. That's how many people were watching it. What was it? 15 $1 million episode is what it cost to make this episode.
Really?
Yeah. So like, this is supposed to be like, I'm sorry, but this is the grand finale. Like, if we're gonna like pull out all the stops, because the way I'm watching it, and I, honest to God, you know this, I watched Game of Thrones episode 3 times last night, and I'm like, okay, I'm super baked, which whatever, very good watermelon eucalyptus, and first time I'm like, okay, this is a lot. I had to stop and start it a lot. But you kind of like had already watched it, so you coached me through it. What was your initial reaction watching the first time through? Did you stop, start, or did you watch the whole thing through?
I watched the whole thing all the way through, except when I had to answer the door.
Perfect.
That was it. That was a stop there, but not really a stop and like reflect. It was just a stop.
You didn't write down in your journal after that?
No, I didn't.
Dragon journal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's slow moving, and they're really, like I said, they're not going anywhere. We wasted 5 minutes of time last episode on a fucking dragon flying scene that was highly unnecessary for all parties. And super romantically linked and not necessary at all.
Well, because I don't think after this, John's going to go fuck his aunt anymore.
Well, no, clearly not. He gave her the cold shoulder all day.
Well, he had to.
Did he? I put a poll out and I asked, if you found out what John did, would you have not told Dany and continued banging her and just been like, whatever? Or would you have told her because you are the rightful king to a throne that you don't want anyway? I agree with the poll people, which the majority voted to keep banging Dany. Let her be in charge. Let the Night King kick her ass. Like, I don't understand this. And we're also skimming over it. Like, Game of Thrones is like, here, five seconds. Here's like this huge plot twist.
Like,
and
literally
we're done.
Kingdom altering.
Yeah.
The last rightful male heir is right there. And we're just going to skip over the fact that, like, when Joffrey wasn't even the male heir, and like all of his brothers and sisters that all died because Cersei and Jaime, not the best parents.
No.
Putting that out there.
Number one parents.
Not going to get on the cover of Parenting Magazine anytime soon. Although that would be kind of funny if they put Cersei's character on the front of Parenting Magazine.
That would be really funny.
Like, that would be very entertaining. But no, like the whole time it's just like those people weren't even rightful heirs. So like this entire time, the only person meant to sit on the Iron Throne is Jon Snow. And he's like, I don't even want to do this. So now what? They gave us nothing. And then when it's time for battle, it's like, okay, all of a sudden, mind-blowing secret time that we're revealing. And then, okay, Arya's naked, time for battle.
Yeah, another 5 minutes of wasted time. Arya banging. Highly unnecessary. Nobody liked it. Nobody's like, hell yeah, Arya, get you some.
My boob is itching. Maybe it's because it's mad about talking about Arya. Maybe it's uncomfortable too.
Right? Like, Arya, we know she's of age, sort of.
Do we?
I guess, I don't know, like in the show, like you don't really know. But like, even like, she was a badass for many seasons, so you just kind of assumed that she probably got it on at some point. Like, it happened, whatever. Why did they make this huge big production about it? Like, there's no point. No point.
So you really thought that like Arya was probably banging at some point?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I got it confirmed last night. I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and they said that in the book she had already banged. Like, it happened. So.
See, I still look at Arya as like very asexual. I think she has a lot of like charged energy and everything, and I think she's very coy. But I just like the way that the character, because I didn't read the books, like I'll just put it that way. From the show, I do not see Arya as a sexual character, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, okay, so this is. So I don't think it's necessary at all. I don't think it's. I think that she's such a strong character that there's no reason to bring sex into it at all.
Right.
Like the people that should be having sex are like Tormund and Brienne.
Yeah, and like, I agree. There's no point, and especially with like the warrior mindset that they're trying to portray her as. Like, there's about to be a war. Like, she's not thinking about banging right now.
Yeah. And like,
you know?
way to make it seem like the only thing that matters in life before you die is getting laid.
Yeah.
Although, I
Tyrion
mean,
didn't even get laid. Like, come on.
what would you do if you knew you were going to die the next day?
Eat.
Eat a lot. We'd probably be at Olive
boring
Garden.
and
Let's be
yeah,
honest.
that would be lame. But I don't know. That I hated that scene. Everybody hated that scene. And like, she's hot. She got naked and she was hot as fuck. But I'm just like, no, this is not what I want to see.
It was uncomfortable to look at her butt cheeks when we're getting ready to watch her hopefully kill everything in sight.
Right.
And I think I don't want to say it demeans her character, because I'm not like, oh my god, it's not feminist enough. I'm saying it's like, it weirdly kind of undermines her character. Like,
it does.
It makes her seem like more human and more like susceptible to sensitivity, which the entire time that we've known Arya, you're supposed to see her as this like unstoppable force, yet she's learning things, don't get me wrong. Like, I think that it was important to show her learning all these new things and adapting to the many-faced god and doing all this cool stuff and learning how to be on her own and learning how to do all this, like, her fighting techniques. But at 0 points do we ever look at Arya and say, wow, I wonder if she learns how to take a dick later in the show.
Right?
Like,
And I mean, no, I've got no positive things to say about that.
no positive things at all. And that's more or less like, but that's a fault of the writers for the show. I don't think, because the last book of Game of Thrones is never going to get finished. So it's just, you guys are just, it's not happening. But then, like, what if George R.R. Martin just writes out this huge, amazing, like, other ending? He goes, this one sucks, and he just writes his own alternative one after watching the show, because that would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, you know he will. You know he will, because he is watching this. Like, he's a petty motherfucker. Like, they carried on the show without him. Like, he's there, and he's got, like, production rights, I think. But, like, they carried it on without him finishing the story. It's his story. They just took it, and they're like, this is ours now. And like I said, they wrote that sex scene in of their own accord. That's not how it happened the first time in the book. Like, it's in the book completely different. It happened.
Yeah.
So, why? Why 1,000 times why?
It seems as though people just collectively decided to make memes, though.
It definitely kept Twitter entertained.
To cope. What was, like, peak? I mean, I sent you a couple of them that we saw. Did you find any, like, that were just too hilarious not to share?
I don't remember, honestly.
The whole, like, I think the look on Danny's face when he kept calling her Danny and being like, but you know, Danny, I'm da-da-da. Like, he kind of treated her like, when he told her that, like, the whole, he kind of was like, it's cool though, I don't want this, so it's gonna be fine. He kind of like tried to brush it off like this is a major life altering thing, like, right. And it's not a normal relationship to begin with. You can't just be like making out with each other in public, even though everybody knows that you're banging. But now you know you're related. It's like, what the hell? But he doesn't look like her type of Targaryen.
Right. I think.
I don't understand that, because he's got the dark, is it from the Stark side? The dark hair, dark eyes, because the Targaryen, like, her brother and her were just like, in the book super I heard that they were like super pale and like silver hair, and they had like purple eyes or something in the book.
Yeah. I don't know why he's so dark. I don't know if that's accurate to the book either. I don't know his particular description, if he was supposed to be blonde and they're just like, that's boring. So
then it'd be too obvious.
I don't want to be the one that has to say this. It's not even I have to say this, but like, everybody's outraged about, like, you can bang your aunt or any relative all you want. It's the problem of reproduction that's an issue. So, like, if you're not having babies, then have at it. I mean, now, obviously, as what?
It's gross, but yeah.
Why? How is it gross?
Because it's like your aunt.
She was never like, it's not like she was raising him.
I know, but I'm saying like in this situation, or like if you just say it across the board that it's not or that's whatever to bang your cousin, like you have to specify that. Like it's gross if you were like if you were really close with your family your whole life and you were just banging your mom's sister. That's just weird.
I still don't think that's weird. Like, you gotta like, how many people marry their next door neighbor or somebody, like a family friend? Like, everybody.
Yeah, but like the blood relation would just be enough to be like, this is just weird.
I don't think so. It's only weird when you reproduce because you're mixing your genetics, and that's a problem for the kid.
Well, yeah, it's weird genetically, but it's just weird morally and like comfortable wise to bang your relative.
I don't think so. I think we have that stigma about it, like that has been spread because of that reason, because they don't want people to do it because it makes your kids have deformities and stuff like that.
People who think that it's okay to bang your aunt or cousin probably aren't the best at birth control either. That's why it's just kind of one of those things. It's like kind of goes hand in hand. Like they're dumb enough to fuck their cousin or their aunt or whatever, so they're probably not going to be smart enough to like not reproduce.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why socially, like, everybody in the world has spread this stigma that it's a horrible plan because, yes, those people are dumb enough to not use protection and will make special needs kids out of it. But
I was not prepared for incest takes today.
I don't think incest is weird. Like, besides having the babies, obviously having babies, bad. But it's no different, like I said, than marrying your neighbor, which everybody does. I was just watching Real Housewives of New Jersey last night. Teresa Giudice, she married Joe. They were raised together. Like her brother and Joe were all best friends. They were all family, like cousins. They were from the same little area in Italy. They lived in the same neighborhood. Like, that's no different than marrying your cousin. She probably saw him more than her cousin.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. Genetically, bad. Not a good idea. Morally, go for it.
Oh, okay.
And that's all. And Twitter agrees with me because they all said keep banging your aunt.
I just think that they meant in the show. I feel like there was not an actual incest take, but to each their own. I'm glad that we have that figured out now. It is okay if you bang your cousin.
I'm okay with it. And that brings up another point, which is sort of unrelated, on porn. So when you're watching porn and you look up, if you're looking up incest porn, they always bring up like stepbrother, stepsister stuff. That extra doesn't count as incest because you're not related at all.
Oh my God.
So like, how is that incestual? That's all I'm saying.
That's great. What else do we have to talk about with this? Because I think there's like another poll that you had, or no, you just brought up the fact that it was episode 69.
Yeah, it was episode 69, which I don't know why, like on my Amazon or on my HBO when I played it, it said like something weird in 69. Like, I thought that was the name of the episode. I was like, oh, we're getting a sex episode.
That would be helpful if they could like give us previews. Like, this is a murder one. This is a banging one.
Right. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, we're getting freaky in this one. And then, I mean, there was one episode or one instance of sex, but it wasn't 69 sex. So I don't know. I don't know what the actual title of the episode was. That's what my Hulu or HBO chose to tell me.
It just showed 69. I think that's awesome. It's like,
yeah,
what more do you need to know about the episode?
Right. This is what we're going for.
Episode
Let's go.
69. Well, I just don't want the last sex scene of the entire series to be Arya.
I mean, it might be. Like, we got to do what? We have to do at least next episode, probably. I'm going to say they're going to spend 3 episodes on fighting. What do you think? 3 or 2?
I say 2. I think 3 seems like a lot. Just because I think the fight scenes are supposed to be pretty long, so I think they're gonna do like hour and a half long episodes for both the fight scenes, and then it comes down to like wrapping everything up, because I think everything can be wrapped up pretty easily. You just show where people end up. You just show where their course of
Right.
life is going. You just show that maybe Jorah finally got to bang Khaleesi, like maybe that's like Khaleesi's finally like, okay, dude, you've been lusting after me since I was I don't know how long, but I think it was a long time.
Right.
Like you could just go ahead and stick it in. Maybe that's the last sex scene we have, but it's just
It
like,
could be.
it's just, you don't know. But I really hope it's not Arya, because I feel like that's a really weird way to leave the sexting or the sexing in Westeros.
Right. Well, if there's only 2 episodes of fighting, then that leaves 2 episodes of recap. So that's plenty of time for somebody else to get it in.
I don't think I want to see 3 episodes of fighting. I kind of want to know like how the realm, you know, settles in. It's almost like a do
Right.
a, I don't want to say pull a Harry Potter, but like it was kind of nice how Harry Potter was like, okay, this is where it all ended up, because that's what you want to know. You want to know, I don't know, because you like to read a lot, and like you were a book nerd. You still love books. Still, you read constantly, but like I like my endings and my closure with characters to come from the author, not like another sequel or spinoff where it just kind of vaguely ties in whatever. But I think J.K. Rowling did a really good job. Not the weird relationship she comes out and says years later, by the way, they're into BDSM and shitting on each other. Like,
Right.
goddamn, J.K., go away. But yeah, I think it's nice to have the closure, and I feel like I want to see more of like the loose ends tied together and making sure that the characters are okay, which sounds ridiculous, but I feel like if you ever read a book, you know what I mean.
Well, with the way they're going, I mean, it does seem like they're going to do that way. They seem to be liking to spend a lot of time on relationships as opposed to actual battle. So
True.
hopefully,
True.
I agree. I am hoping for 2. I'm hoping for less than 2 of the fighting, because I don't give a fuck. I don't watch any of that part. I get on Twitter when that's happening. So yeah, I hope it's not very long as well, but we'll see.
So then that's my other question. So when the Nightwalkers kill people, they turn them into more Nightwalkers or White Walkers.
Right.
So like all the people that are like gonna get killed by the White Walkers are just gonna turn into more White Walkers to kill everyone else.
Correct.
So this is gonna be a shit show.
Yes. So I mean, they're fully gonna they're priming us to get fucked, basically, in all of this lovey-dovey shit that's going nowhere that they've done for 2 episodes. Like, they're just making you like everybody except for Arya. We're sort of anti-liking her right now.
I don't even
But-
think that's her fault. We're just all, I think, mentally scarred by it.
Right, right. So besides her and Bran, which everybody, I think that was the goal, was to hate Bran, so we're probably gonna kill him off. But besides those 2, they're kind of making us like everyone equally again. Like, they're kind of making everybody come out. Like Jordan, they made him redeemable again. Tyrion, they made him like human again. I guess we kind of hate Dany, but she's kind of always been a bitch. John, we like. Sam, we like. You know, all of that stuff. Or Sansa, even, they're making her out to be the hero, so she's dying fast. But yeah, they're basically doing all this so that they can kill them and then make them come back as White Walkers to fight and make us sad, because, you know, at some point John's gonna have to kill Sam, or John's gonna have to kill that other Night Watch dude, whatever, and we're gonna be all sad, and that's what
Who,
they're going
Davos?
for.
Is
I
that
don't know.
Davos? Yeah.
I don't think so,
Okay.
but
But-
maybe. I don't keep track of their names. I don't know. The one with like the curly-ish hair.
Close enough. I mean, that's also could be Jon Snow. He might have to kill himself. It's plot
He
twist.
might. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah, we're gonna be sad basically for 2 more episodes.
But we kind of know what's going to happen, because I think the Bran basically alluded to the fact that, hey guys, the reason that the Night King knows that I'm here is because he touched me, and even though I was not supposed to let him touch me, haha, it's cool. But Bran pretty much lets them know what the Night King wants. He wants all the memories and all the history of Westeros to be completely erased.
Right.
And that can never happen because of Bran. So as long as Bran stays, you know, alive and functioning, and, you know, I guess mortal, but not mortal, he's a 3-eyed raven.
Right.
So then that means that, you know, the Night King can't truly take over unless Bran is dead. So I would be using Bran as a little fucking target at this point.
I believe that's the point or the goal. So we will see him probably like hanging by his wheelchair outside.
Hanging by his wheelchair. Oh my god.
I don't know. It's like, hi, here
What's
we
up,
are.
Bran? How you doing? Oh my god, that's beautiful. Who's the most annoying character on the show to you? Bran. Okay.
Yeah. He definitely should have died forever ago. It used to be Sansa. Well, I mean, when Bran wasn't around, it was Sansa that was my least favorite. But she's changed quite a bit, so she's kind of cool now.
She is, and I think she kind of kept Jon in check a little bit with like, okay, do you love her, or do you want the Iron Throne? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna choose? And that makes it hard. Right. For some people it would.
For some people.
I'd say give me the fucking Iron Throne. Get out of my way.
Right? I would want to be king. Hi, I'm in charge now.
I'm in charge, and I have other people to help me make all my decisions. Like, what shoes do I wear?
Right. But like, right now, highly unnecessary. Like, you don't even know if you're gonna survive, either one of you. So, fucking worry about it later.
So would you have waited until after the battle?
Oh, for sure. Telling her now is not gonna help anything. If anything, it's gonna make you more susceptible to being dead. Like, Dany's crazy. Like, yeah, she loves you. But yeah, she's not gonna like, hey, Night King, he's the actual heir. Kill this motherfucker. Like.
But that's the thing. It was like the Night King is immortal, so wouldn't he know? I feel like he would know that Jon Snow's the true heir.
I don't know. Probably.
This is why
either way, they both need to die. We don't want any of the heirs to live, but
we don't.
Well, the Night King doesn't.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you and I was like, are we rooting for total chaos again?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I expect it to happen. I expect it to be like, oh, here's a surprise kid that's been hiding way down here. He's in charge now.
Oh, and we're gonna call him Joffrey. It's cool.
Okay.
Ooh, that would have been so much cooler if they would have had Joffrey come back as a White Walker.
They might. I don't know. Well, no, they won't. But Cersei's pregnant. Like, who knows what the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, another Jaime baby. It's just messy. It's messy. It's fun. I'm apprehensive because I feel like even the Grey Worm thing with his girlfriend.
Yeah, they're dying.
They're definitely dead.
Definitely dead.
Like when you start talking about beaches, that's why I was flat out just like, because Dragonfly Jones, one of the best Twitter accounts to follow ever, was tweeting all this stuff. He has like the most intense Game of Thrones theories, and I think they're great. I love it. I love it when like sports people like intersect Game of Thrones people, and how like sports Twitter and like athlete Twitter, politic Twitter, everything can all come together and watch. Then some people hashtag Dim Thrones, and I think that's amazing. So Dim Thrones, Game of Thrones, all that shit, you see everybody talking about it, and I just think it's kind of fun. Like it's fun to like have that, and for people who like always like, oh, I don't watch that stuff, it's like literally no one cares. No one asked you.
Nobody cares, and you're one of the very few.
Yeah,
like your heroes, Patrick Mahomes watches it, so.
Yeah, I told him last night he's our one true king. It's cool.
That's funny.
He's the king of all the realm.
King of all.
I didn't watch it real time. I was out. Went out to the one of two bars that were open with my bros, and ended up at the Peanut with my buddy Brandon, and we hung out. Brandon left. I ate like an 8th meal for absolutely no reason other than I really wanted peanut wings, because you walk in the Peanut, you smell wings. It's like, fuck.
Right.
Here we go. But Steve hid the rest of the leftovers everywhere perfectly, so I couldn't eat any more when I got home. So I was like, I'm glad I ate those wings. You don't have to.
He hid the food?
Well, he didn't hide it. It's out in the other garage. And so I was just like, damn it. I was like, where did he put this? I got very concerned. But I was also very much enjoying my new watermelon essential oil. So I was just trying to buckle down with the Game of Thrones, have a nice like feast of prime rib, casual. Nah, I was just I could not move. I was so uncomfortably full yesterday.
That's lovely.
It was beautiful. We had a great Easter, so.
We did have a very good Easter. Steve is a master wizard of cooking.
I just don't understand how he does it without freaking out.
I don't know either. He was the most calm, like, dude. He was just like, boop-a-doop, checking on all my shit. Here's my 800 perfectly cooked items.
Yeah, ready for presentation. Boom.
Right?
It was
like,
incredible.
Holy cow.
I know. We had...
Literally, I didn't tell him this story, but we have prime rib at Christmas every year. Like we've probably done it for the last like 7 or 8 years. The prime rib is A, always destroyed, like completely overcooked, but B, also somehow never ready at the time that it's dinner. Like we always have to wait like 3 hours for it to actually be done.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, what are you guys doing wrong? Like Steve did this gorgeous.
Yeah, Steve has a really like he has an incredible knack of timing and everything so he plans out in his mind how long he has to smoke that thing for. So he had it smoking overnight, I'm pretty sure.
It was perfect.
It was incredible. It was probably the best meat I've ever had.
Best meat. My sister just said never ready. She knows.
Yeah, but it's a
But then it's
struggle.
overcooked. Like how is that? Like it's gray. Like it's never red. Like Steve's
Ew.
was.
Really?
I don't know how these people do this. I
And
don't
that's
know.
okay, but even more importantly, that's a hell of a lot of money to spend on something you're gonna burn.
Right?
Because prime ribs, like that one yesterday, probably like $100
Mm-hmm.
just for the meat, like, and then all the time it takes to prepare it. Like, why would you butcher, not butcher, but literally butcher something that badly? Like, oh my God.
For real. Like I don't know how they ruin it every time.
Well, and then that's what you were also trying to figure out signature dishes on Twitter yesterday of like what is your signature side dish to bring to Easter? Because Easter kind of seems like okay, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, Easter's like I've always associated Easter with ham, and then I'm like, what do you eat with ham? Like which we did have ham yesterday, and it was also freaking good. He covered it in like mustard, and it was awesome. Uh, but then like, how do you adorn that? So everybody said deviled eggs, which I did see a lot of deviled eggs around the city, not at our house or
We had
Easter.
none.
We did not have any. You did want some though. You were showing me some the night before that were like salmon, dill, bacon,
It was Nicole's fault.
bougie.
Bougie eggs. Yeah, and then
Bougie.
we talked about it with Andrea because she was like talking about deviled eggs. I don't know what she was talking about. I'm like, I need all of these. But yeah, Nicole's fault, 100%.
Yeah, which I would never eat those, but they did look very pretty.
They look pretty, but like you underestimate eggs in general because they are such a good source of protein. I mean, most of the time, unless you have cholesterol issues, they're pretty good for you too. Don't eat like 10 eggs a day. Like obviously, I feel like everything's good in moderation, but eggs are great to just pair random stuff with. Like you can do a lot with egg because it goes with damn near everything. I put eggs in like my ramen. I put it on pretty much anything I can think of. I put it on fish. I'll have like poached eggs, like poached salmon. But yeah, it's weird. I love eggs, and deviled eggs are great. But my dad thought it was high food and would not let me have it.
He would not. No. I have never liked like a traditional deviled egg. That's not for me. But we go to some brunch places that serve deviled eggs for like an appetizer. Louis does, and Avenues used to. They don't anymore. But those were always very good. Avenues had like a crab one, didn't they? And it was something like lump crab in there. It
Yeah,
was good.
they had I mean, but like anytime you go brunch and it's gonna be, like I guess springtime, I feel like you see them more. But like over the winter, you didn't see them. I think Avenues were better.
Okay.
Louis Louis tries to be a little bit more like unique with theirs, but I mean the traditional deviled egg route, as long as it's not, I don't know, I don't like a lot of mayo taste in the deviled egg part.
Right. Definitely not mayo. That's gross.
Yeah, but some people get really heavy handed with it. I don't know. It's like we had a traditionally but yet not traditional Easter because I was fully expecting like lamb or something from Steve, and he was just like, let's just do prime
Yeah.
rib.
Yeah, that is true. But thank God, because it was so good. But so was the ham, and we had potatoes, and what else? Oh yeah, spinach like souffle thing.
Yeah, he just casually made a souffle. Like most people can't make a souffle, even just on their own. He just like whipped one up.
Yeah, like out of nowhere, I was just like, oh, okay.
I don't get
Fucking
it.
good too.
But like, lest you forget, he was Mr. Plaza 3 kitchen everything for a long time, and I guess his his background with culinary arts is impressive enough, and my mom too. My mom used to bake and do all that stuff, but I think like if you don't bake like that, if you're not up doing all that shit like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, after a while
Right.
you just kind of, it's not natural anymore. I feel like with cooking though, you always kind of get like a cadence going of what you need to get done, but that's why I don't understand like cooking shows make me nervous because I'm like, I can barely get something done when I have like step by step instructions and somebody like helping me. So I'm just
Mm.
like, how do you just know how to do this off the top of your head?
How do you just know? Mostly because cooking school is crazy.
You
We
got your
burn it
tattoo
into you.
filled in. I can see it on.
Oh,
I can see the
that was
difference.
right. You can't. Well, and now you can see the clouds. So.
Yeah. Well, no, I just caught it. I was like, oh hey, look at the tattoo.
Oh, hey,
That was
there
a
you go.
small
There's
session,
the.
wasn't it?
Yeah, we just did like this right here. And he filled in a little bit down here, but you really can't. It's just shading.
That's awesome though.
Um, yeah. So we'll eventually get it finished. I think I am giving up on Jesus. So that's the guy that does my tattoos at Irizumi, and he's great, very talented. Obviously, like he did this whole thing from nothing. Like I gave him a couple pictures and he designed it all. Um, but every time I go, I have to wait like 45 minutes before he'll actually come get me, and my appointment started at like 1, and he'll come at like 1:45, and I'm like, all right, ready? I'm like, yeah, 45 minutes ago. Um, and then like he breaks, like I think he's intentionally, it's not costing me anymore, but he breaks up the sessions like way smaller than they need to be. Like especially this last one. This last one was only an hour. But it was because he was late an hour. And then the other times he just does like 2. Like my pain tolerance threshold is pretty high. Like he could do 4 or 5 hour sessions, but he never does. I'm just like, I
Did
don't
you
know.
think that
So
because you like sparkly things and dress like a Barbie and camo, does he think that like you can't handle it? Have you told him how fucking tough you are?
no, like it's honestly it's him. Like I think he just gets bored and doesn't want to do it anymore. Because like there's times that I'm his last appointment. Like there's no reason that we can't keep going, and he just doesn't. So I don't know. So if you have a tattoo guy recommendations, throw them my way, because I'm probably gonna get a new one.
Yeah, the guy that did mine at Irizumi was pretty cool. He
Yeah,
seems
he
like
was
good.
really nice.
He's always on social media and does a really good job of. His name's Dennis Stone. So I mean that's always a good avenue to go, just because he was pretty chill.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's difficult because it's like once you get an idea, especially because you're such a creative like mastermind behind it. Like once you get an idea going, it's a vision that like you see and you like want to see it like brought to life, I guess. And it's like when you have to wait around for it, that would be super frustrating. So
Yeah.
you're doing a good job with your patience. I'm impressed, to be honest. I'm surprised that you like put up with like the bouncing around for that long too.
Yeah, he kills me. Kills me. But yeah, I'm probably gonna look at Irizumi. The other guys downstairs, like Dennis or Dallas, were downstairs, and they
Yeah,
seem talented enough. So we'll see.
nice. Well, yeah, and then this week, so I'll be getting my mock draft video out. I'll just do a quick little thing so you guys can see just in general what could be cool. I'll give you a rundown of just the picks that I put down. I actually do a collaboration with my dad, and we do a mock draft every year, just what the Chiefs are going to do. And it's never anything like where we take it that seriously because nobody gives a shit about your mock draft. It's just more
Right.
or less for us to like have something to talk about besides how crippling awful I am as a child.
Oh my God, shut up.
But no, and so that'll be this week. You've got crazy amount of stuff going on. We've both got crazy amount of stuff going on. We have some news that we have to figure out that I need to talk to Megan about after this, so it's even exciting.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so interesting times.
Interesting times.
But we have the show on Wednesday and Friday, so we will be around for both of those. We're not planning on seeing any more horses, are we?
Nope, no more horses this week.
What else do we have coming up this week?
That's it. We just have that going. We have a couple announcements probably coming out, like you said. This weekend will be a bit more busy, but we won't have details till the end of the week for you.
Yep.
And that's it. So pretty chill week, pretty standard week. We want to know, if you have any Game of Thrones, if you have any mock draft, if you have any incest hot takes, tweet us. We'll be putting out some polls, I think, throughout the week
Mostly
on
tweet
things. Not on
Megan
those.
your incest hot takes.
Not on those. But
I want none of those.
yeah, whatever you got. As long as it's chill, don't take yourself too seriously. Don't worry about stuff. I got into a Twitter war last night with somebody. Not even a war. It was like 2 tweets
I was gonna say, like,
about
I
Game
get
of Thrones.
notifications now, so I feel like I would see this war.
Well, it's in replies. You don't get notifications for those.
Oh, boo.
Um,
I could.
but I had just like some girl like said something about the war or whatever, and I was like, haha, you think we're even getting to the battle for another 4 or 5 episodes? Something ridiculous, which I know it was on the preview last night, and there's only 6 episodes. And she's like, well, yeah, the denouement showed, blah, blah, blah. I was like, calm down, ma'am.
That is like, ma'am,
It was a
no.
joke. I literally put like the winky face emoji in there, like in the first tweet, like. And then she's like, I don't know why you would jump in somebody else's convo to tell them that they're wrong. And I was like, I didn't.
Wow, this seems like a very intense war. Did you name it in your mind? Was it like the Winky Face battle?
Yes, the Battle of Winky Face.
Why does it sound so British?
I don't know.
The Battle of Winky Face.
Winky. Winky.
I would like to be the Duchess of Winky Face.
You are. You're the Duchess of Moonface.
Moon face for sure. Winky face. I can't wink. You have a wink. I can't wink.
I can't wink. Well, I can if I think about it. Like, I have to be like, we're closing this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
One, go. Hey. Okay.
So, yeah. That's what we're doing. So we're going to head out and go do those things. But in the meantime, check out Dad Bod Tees. Show them your shirt again.
I gotta move the mic.
I can't tell if you're showing it, so use your words.
There we go. He's the one who's
Showing it.
Sports talk to 10 ways he wanted to bend me over.
Use our code Sprots6. We have our Sprots6 Sprots Take store on there, but our code works for anything, so you don't have to use it to get Sprots6 gear, though I do encourage you to do so.
I know. That mug is bomb.
Yeah. And then also Commandeer brand. This is a Commandeer brand shirt.
It's beautiful.
Ours is Sprots 15. You get 15% off at Commandeer brand, 10% at Dad Bod, or call Recovery Hydration. Get them too. Give them our code. See what happens.
Boom. I love it. Absolutely
Okay.
love it. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. We will have the show posted as always on the website. Just go to sprout6.com and you'll see it. It'll be right there. It'll say 422.
422.
Because if you missed 420, it's now 422. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha
That was
ha.
a
But it's
horrible
okay
joke.
because next year all of April is 420.
Oh my gosh. Look at you. We are, you say that we're not good at numbers, but look at this.
Look at it.
We're killing it today. All right, guys, we will catch you on Wednesday. Until then, peace out.